Hello, it's been a long time. So I think for today, the message is really simple. We have a lot of water energy right now. Saturn, Mercury, the Sun, Neptune, but especially Mercury and Saturn, all of that is in Pisces. We got Mars in Cancer. We're coming out of Mars retrograde. I think the key here is to know that whatever we're feeling, I think a lot of people are feeling some kind of deep emotion, especially when it comes to feeling potentially trapped. A lot of people might be experiencing the extreme of this, where it's like they feel stuck. They don't know which way's up. It feels like they're underwater. They're just trying to figure out, where do I go? How do I get back to the surface? How do I heal? How do I feel better? I think here there's a couple things we need to keep in mind. First and foremost, all of this is a phase, like all transits. We will get through this, and the key isn't to just try and get through it. The key is to embrace it during all transits, to embrace it for what it is, to try to make the most of it. There's a real opportunity here for us to heal emotionally, especially in relation to childhood, Mars being in Cancer, coming out of the retrograde period, in relation to our families, in relation to our fears. And that's, I think, another thing that's really important to keep in mind is it's really easy to project right now onto others, onto the outside world, also onto family and whatnot. And there might be some serious, valid challenges in regards to family, loved ones, etc. But we really need to be mindful at this time to make sure that we're staying in tune with our subconscious, that we're staying accountable for ourselves, for our own well-being. We're understanding where we're coming from emotionally, and we're seeking to find the words. We're seeking to logically understand. These energies, sometimes again, it can feel like we're underwater, we're really challenged, but there's a great opportunity here to be able to understand ourselves at a deeper level more than ever, and to unite through greater self-love and healing, to unite with the God love that is always present there for all of us, but which we can very easily lose sight of, especially when our egos are at play. It's interesting because on the one hand, we have so much energy that's deeply sensitive and reflective, but we also have, and there's great things about Venus in Aries. I don't know, I have Venus in the house of Aries, so I'm a little biased, but there's great things about all energies, but that energy can be very challenged when it comes to ego, of self. It's a tricky thing. We have to navigate this time period of, okay, how do I express my emotions? And especially if there's some kind of challenge, and I think a lot of people are finding some kind of conflict, especially it could be with a family member, or it could just be, I think there's a lot of male-female challenge out there right now because Venus and Mars are square, but it's really curious because we might find that the stereotypical gender norms are reversed, where females might be a bit aggressive, and males might be a bit more on the being emotionally hurt side, being defensive, etc. However this is playing out, regardless of probability, gender, all that stuff, the most important thing is, again, we're holding ourselves accountable, and we're also seeking to communicate how we feel with other people in a way that is not combative, that is not making things worse, that is not projecting our own emotions onto others, because it can be very easy at this time to go, oh, I don't feel good about myself, about my life, about my future, whatever, all these things, one of these things, several of these things. It's that person's fault. I'm going to go to war. It's like, no. That doesn't solve anything. It makes everything worse. Let's not do that. I think the key, again, as per the more personal development, finishing that thought. Again, I think the key is to be compassionate in that situation, to be empathetic with yourself and others, and finding a true higher ground beyond just me versus you, or who's right, who's wrong. Let's just try and heal, because we're all going through a bit of a ringer at this time. Even if things are overall going really well, Saturn conjunct Mercury and conjunct Sun by extension, and then Mars coming out of this retrograde period. We've come out of a lot of retrogrades recently, and this is exciting in a lot of ways. We'll cover that as time goes on, but in general, we're all kind of, okay, let's move forward, right? But emotionally, we're still, first we have a couple retrogrades coming up, Venus, Mercury in the next month and a half. But even where we are right now, the time period is such that we really need to be very mindful of our own subconscious And healing, I think healing is the key word. There's empowering as well, but again, we need to be facing our fears. We need to not be so focused on conflict with others. Even if there are valid complaints, approaching that situation after great mindfulness, probably meditation as well, always helps. But great mindfulness in relation to our own lives, what we're seeking to overcome, accomplish. Again, at this time, it can be so easy to give into fears. And I just want to say one more time, it deserves to be said again. What seems dark right now is definitely, even if there's some real challenge, with these energies, it can be so easy to make it seem in our perception, to make it seem like it's more than it actually is. Our own minds, oh, what if this, what if that, fear, negative emotion, sadness. So we really need to be patient and just kind of ride the wave out over the next couple weeks. And at the very least, we won't make things worse, but I think we'll also find the words that we need. We'll feel a lot more empowered, and we'll be able to move forward really effectively. Yeah. Infinite love to you, my friends. Namaste. As always, doing readings, info in the about section of this video. And yeah, peace.